Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Back here with David. We wanted to kind of reintroduce, Global Track Solutions, kind of the big picture over the next couple of years, where David sees it going, the adjustments they've made. But first things first, David, how are you?
Doing great, Jason. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. I know you're a hockey fan. Are you a baseball fan at all? Are you watching the World Series?
Somewhat, but following the Dodgers. I'm originally from LA, so watching what the Dodgers are doing, pretty impressed. Hopefully, they don't blow it. They blew it the last two times, so we'll see what happens.
Knock on wood, knock on wood. Uh,
Yeah.
well, fair. I guess. Look, I'll throw it to you. I know we want to, kind of introduce Global Track Solutions. I know we've done videos talking about Psychedelic Spotlight, but obviously there's a parent company behind Global Track Solutions. Do you want to kind of chat about it? What you guys are doing, what your goals are. I'll just let you rant if you want, so we can go from there.
Sure, Jason. So, as you know, I took over here as CEO of Global Track Solutions in July of this year and took over at a time where the company really was in the midst of a pretty sharp pivot, moving out of the cannabis space and into medicinal psychedelics. So, past few months have really been quite a whirlwind for myself. So I really wanted to take some time to, really communicate directly to our shareholders, our stakeholders, as well as those within the investment community that have maybe been following the Global Track Solution story here for the past few months and really been assessing the company and really provide a clear understanding of what our objective, what our mission is here, particularly in the psychedelic space. And also particularly at a time right now where there's a lot of momentum and a lot of activity going on the public side of things, of course, highlighted by the Compass Pathways IPO, which we talked about last week and the success that they've had. You've got MindMed applying to be uplisted to the NASDAQ. So there's a lot going on the public side of things. And I want to make sure the Global Track Solutions remains in that conversation because we are one of the few companies out there in the psychedelic space that is in the public market right now. So being able to communicate sort of what our mission, what our objective is very important to me right now. And what I want to say is the last couple of months since I took over here, I've been focused on primarily two things here. First being the development of Psychedelic Spotlight, which is our flagship website. And we've been able, and I'm proud to say, to develop it into a very prominent digital media platform here in the psychedelic community. It's something that is recognized now by the leaders and other advocates here within this space. So I'm proud with the progress that we have made, and we've accomplished that through putting out original content that is thought-provoking, and then of course, fact-based information, as well as interviews with some key individuals and other leaders here within this space, from Ronan Levy of Field Trip, Paul Austin of the Third Wave, we also Dr. Garcia Romeu from Johns Hopkins. So we've been able to put out really solid content that is connected with people that are following the psychedelic space. But what I like to remind everybody is we're only scratching the surface really of what we're doing here with Psychedelic Spotlight. We have far more ambitious goals and objectives here for its growth and really intend on growing it into a full marketplace here within the psychedelic space and recognizing the need to be able to connect individuals here within this growing industry. And so, what you see right now really is just the beginning stages of that growth for us right now. The second thing that I've really been focused on too in the last few months has really been assessing the landscape here within the psychedelic space and really identifying opportunities and areas for us to be able to plug Global Track Solutions into. And I want to make it clear, I understand how important it is to drive value here for my shareholders and for my stakeholders and to be able to create a reasonable path to profitability here for the company. It's a process, but it's one that we've started, we're moving forward with, we're establishing a network, we're having conversations with the right people, and we're assessing opportunities that are out there in this space because I recognize and I understand, yes, we can certainly drive revenue through a digital platform-based model. There's no question about that. But is that enough? Is that enough to put us in the same conversation with companies like Compass Pathways and MindMed and Field Trip? No, it's not. We want to be something a little more substantial. We want to incorporate something more substantial into our business model. And so that is my focus and that is my intention here. And I just want to put that out there and let people know that what you see right now really is just, again, us scratching the surface of what we are establishing here in the psychedelic space right now. But I'm pleased and I'm encouraged with what we've been able to do, what we've been able to accomplish. And I'm more excited really for the future growth here in what I want to do with Global Track Solutions and really making it a recognized brand within an industry that is starting to grow and that is starting to emerge. So putting that out there and just, creating that level of transparency here, I think is very important for me at this time right now, Jason.
Yeah. No, awesome. And again, I think the common theme over a lot of the past videos has been, the opportunities that you're seeing just in talking with industry leaders, where things are going. But you see the opportunities in talking to so many of these guys, you see where people are focusing, where opportunities lie, and obviously you can capitalize on them. What the one question I had here and really wanted to get out for the shareholders and for people watching is, kind of what's your passion behind this, and what fuels you to push this to the next level?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, we're at a time right now where society, there's just so much going on. We're in the midst of a pandemic, but not lost in all of that is the epidemic that we as a society and really humanity have been, dealing with for the past several years with, millions of people suffering from depression, anxiety, PTSD, and addiction. And so for me, yes, I'm fueled and I'm motivated by developing and building a very successful business. And if I had to bet on myself and being able to do that, I would bet on myself every single day. But I think for a lot of us here in the last few months, we've sort of our mindset has changed, with everything that's gone on here in the last several months, with COVID and what we've seen things, from a society perspective. And so it's forced a lot of us to sort of assess our objectives and our own goals. And for me, doing that from a business perspective and saying and asking myself, how can I develop a successful, profitable business that drives value for my shareholders and stakeholders, but also brings value to society and humanity? And that to me is what I'm focused on here, because I do believe that it can be accomplished, that you can balance the two. And so being able to get Global Track Solutions to a place where we are driving value here for our shareholders and our stakeholders, but also, again, bringing value to society and humanity through what we're doing through Psychedelic Spotlight and what we intend to do here within the space of psychedelics is very important to me. Because listen, we talked about this, I think, before. I lost my father 2 years ago to, a long battle of depression and addiction. So that's always motivated me. That frustration that there was a lack of accessibility to effective medicines and treatments for him. And so this motivation for me to not want to have anybody else lose a father, a brother, a sister, a wife, whatever it may be, to something like depression or addiction. That to me is very important here, and I don't lose sight of that here in the development of what we're doing with Global Track Solutions and Psychedelic Spotlight. So there's a lot involved here. We want to be a voice. We want to be an advocate here in this space. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to look back and say, you know what, we created a very strong business, one that is recognized, one that is respected, but we're also contributing to the betterment of society and the betterment of humanity. So to me, that's what drives me. That's what motivates me on a daily basis. And, again, I'm so happy that we have this opportunity to be here in the space at this time, and it's exciting. I'm looking forward to what we've got ahead here in the future.